Hello everyone and welcome to another timeless video. So today we're going to be checking out the Omnitell deck again in timeless format. The reason for the revisit to the Omnitell list is because during the weekend there was a timeless tournament. And in that tournament there was a pretty interesting Sultai Omnitell list that I wanted to check it out. And this is a slight variation to the main deck because I'm going to be checking out Best of 1. I'm sure you can check this out in Best of 3 as well and have a decent success. And ever since last time I checked out Omnitell, there has been a lot of new additions to the deck, new techs that I haven't revisited to check it out before. And turns out, if you add the broken cards into the broken list, you get a broken deck. So the broken card added to the list are 4 copies of Dark Ritual. So what makes Dark Ritual so powerful is the fact that not only can you play Show and Tell on turn 2, but the fact that you can chain that with the Thoughtseize. So if you Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, and then Show and Tell, there's nothing you can do. Or if you go Dark Ritual into a Demonic Tutor into grabbing a Thoughtseize because you have all the lands, plus a Show and Tell and the combo pieces. That's also pretty broken because now opponent has to top deck an answer, otherwise you're going to be able to just win the game the following turn. So I really like this addition to the deck, and compared to the last time I played Omnitell, there's this card called Born Upon a Wind that some Omnitell list has been running. So I decided to check this card out today because this is a card that's kind of insane in a mirror match and kind of insane versus Omniscience counters as well. So let's say in a mirror match, opponent Show and Tells an Omniscience down onto the battlefield. Conveniently, you also have an Omniscience in your hand and a copy of Born Upon a Wind. You put down an Omniscience onto the battlefield, opponent is probably going to play an Aatroxa for 0 mana, and in response, you can Born Upon a Wind and play your entire hand at an instant speed and proceed to winning the game. So as you can see, Born Upon a Wind is a very nice Mirror Breaker card. Other usages of this is, you might have already seen this before, if you Show and Tell an Omniscience onto the battlefield, an opponent puts a Leyline Binding or Agent of Treachery onto the battlefield, getting rid of your Omniscience. In response, you can react to this and Born Upon a Wind and win the game. So this card has a lot of utility, but of course, at the end of the day, it's a 2-mana draw spell, so there's some matchups where it's going to feel underwhelming. So we're going to be only playing 2 copies of it, and we're also going to have a copy in the sideboard in case you get into a mirror match and you have to get a Born Upon a Wind since you think your opponent has a Show and Tell and an Omniscience. Or they have an Omniscience and you're trying to Show and Tell and they have a Born Upon a Wind. And the last 2 cards that we have added to the deck are 2 copies of Spell Snare. Last time I played Spell Snare, I quite enjoyed it. Gets rid of Orcish Bowmasters, gets rid of a counter spell, which is actually pretty prevalent in this format as well. We got 2 copies of Spell Snare as our alternative to the Spell Pierce, since this card can also counter a creature as well. And the other cards added to the list are the Surveil lands from the MKM set. So having said that, we're going to be hopping over to some Timeless Best of 1 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Okay, we have a Show and Tell. We have a Dark Ritual. Seems like they have a Dark Ritual. Oh god. Sheoldred? I mean, that could have been worse, right? That could have been definitely worse. Definitely could have been worse. Do I want this? Putting an Aatroxa on the battlefield against a Thoughtseize deck. They could probably just kill this though. What to do? I can definitely show and tell here for an Aatroxa. Or I could Demonic Tutor for or an Omniscience. I'm gonna go for Omniscience here. And pass. Okay. Let's show and tell. One ring, that doesn't do anything. Mastermind's Acquisition. This game is over, right? Approach. Aatroxa. I think they have a Bowmaster, right? But that's not going to do anything. Yeah, we got a bit lucky because they didn't have any Thoughtseizes. I think they were thinking that we were a Dimir control deck. It's a really good hand if I was going first. And because we are, I'm keeping this one. Oh, wow. I guess we just Demonic Tutor then. I shouldn't have shown them the breeding pool, honestly. I should have actually played the island there. Might have been a mistake, honestly. Also, I don't know what kind of deck they're playing, right? Darn. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but... could have been worse, right? Could have been worse. So interesting thing about that was if I knew what they were playing, I would have grabbed a Born Upon the Wind, but because I don't know what they're playing... Okay, so I should have actually grabbed a Born Upon the Wind there, so that if they show and tell and put an Omniscience down onto the battlefield, I would have just won there. Oh wow, that's actually insane. The fact that we draw land there. Ha! Interesting. Interesting. So they're gonna get their Omniscience out no matter what. And I can't play my show and tell this turn because they have Born Upon the Wind right now. So if I show and tell, I lose the game. I wonder how many copies they play. Now, if they're smart, they would put that again. Oh god. They're making things very awkward, isn't it? Basically, we have to find our own Born Upon the Wind. Brainstorm and a Polluted Delta. Maybe I should have Thoughtseized. Okay, so opponent passes. Okay, so we could win here. Let's see. Never mind. Never mind. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana to cast the Omniscience. That's not enough. Just get rid of that. There it is. Okay, so we win next turn. We win next turn. Let's say they... Okay, actually, I'm gonna put the show and tell on top. So if they draw Thoughtseize, we can just win the game. So, I mean, they can top it. But I guess the burden is on them still. Because they have to put the Omniscience down, right? That means they can't put the Aatroxa down. Like, this won't actually do anything. Okay, so we won the game. Let's actually fix the top of our deck. Actually, let's just grab a Dig Through Time. So, Lauren revealed, Dig Through Time, Fail Wishes, Omniscience, and a land. And we'll Fail Wishes, grab an Approach. Nice. Yeah, this matchup is actually kind of tricky, right? It's actually kind of tricky. Because both players want to have Born Upon the Wind. Since we're both putting an Omniscience down onto the battlefield, so you can just play your cards at an instant speed. Man, what a strong hand. What? Like, it's actually pretty insane, like, what Dark Ritual brings to the table. Esper Sentinel? That is actually very annoying, isn't it? If they have Thalia, it's so bad for me, though. I think I am willing to give them a card here, and then take away Thalia. Another Sentinel. That's really bad. That's really bad. Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Thoughtseize here? This is kind of tough. I think I have to play the Mystic Sanctuary here, right? Because I need to Thoughtseize. But I give them 2 cards. Pretty rough, honestly. Swords to Plowshare. Oh, man. So it's probably better to grab an Omniscience, right? Well, they're top decking. So we'll see what happens here. We'll show and tell. They draw 2 cards. Put the Omniscience onto the battlefield. That was a good one. Dahlia was actually a good one. Another Esper Sentinel. Am I dead? I mean, to be fair, they drew a lot, right? They drew a lot. This is supposed to be our worst matchup. If they didn't have a swords, I would have put I would have gone on Aatroxa, but okay, Brainstorm's good. I think I'll keep this one. Although if the Brainstorm does get countered, it's kind of a bad time. So we'll have to see here. Interestingly enough, they countered. I actually didn't expect them to counter. Yeah. Okay. So this is an Omnitell deck. So I'm not gonna be playing this Born Upon the Wind because you wanna keep this. If they show and tell, then you put an Omniscience down and then you Born Upon the Wind, right? If it was something else, I would have actually done it, but because it's not, this is basically our win con at the moment. No way. What is happening? It's not? It's not. Oh, wow. That is not what I expected. Interesting, okay. So we're dealing versus a wizard deck, and our hand is kind of bad. Another Sleep-Cursed Fairy. Looks like they have another Spell Pierce. That's not a good time. Okay. I think I have a plan. I'm gonna Brainstorm on their turn. And then I'm gonna Demonic Tutor on my turn. Opponent passes, so one of them has to be a counter spell, right? One of them has to be a counter spell. I'm gonna try to brainstorm on their turn, see what they do. We got a spell snare. Okay, so I'll try to tutor. I need them to counter this. I need you to counter this one. They did not counter. I guess I'll Thoughtseize then? Let's see what happens if I Thoughtseize. And we'll show and tell. Okay, we won. We have won the game. Assemble. Land. Brainstorm. That was actually a really bad one, by the way. Okay, I wonder now if they have a counter spell now. They didn't surrender. I guess if it's not a spell pierce, we can win, right? Let's just go another Aatroxa. Dig through time. Sorcery and a land. Enchantment. Man, these hits are really bad. These are some really bad hits. There we go. I'm gonna grab a D spell. So if this is like a counter spell to try to counter this thing, I have a D spell. Honestly, that was a pretty close game. We were at 5? Right? Oh my god, what is this? Okay, so even if now I have basically, because now we have a swamp and a polluted delta, we can grab an island if they try to. Okay, did not expect a breakout, honestly. A Bowmaster. Was this really the best card they could have had? Actually, it's very annoying, don't get me wrong, like... The Coddle. I did not expect the Bowmaster, I'm not gonna lie. Three, four, five. I can't just show and tell, that's the thing. I think I need a... Okay, so basically what I need is a Thoughtseize right now. Nice. So next turn, I Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Show and Tell. And hopefully we win the game. The Bowmaster is honestly insane though. So, oh god. Oh god. I'm not even sure if I have enough life. Like, I would need to draw, like, something insane off of it. Off of this, like, first Brainstorm. This is pretty bad, honestly. I mean, this is 3, and this is also 3. Okay, so... Oh man, all these draw spells are just so bad. So if I go to 7... I can Brainstorm twice, right? So Binding Off, Show and Tell. We basically gotta find something good here. Nice. Nice. That's actually huge. We take 3 damage. We can Brainstorm again if we wanted to. Play the Aatroxa. We find another Aatroxa. No, we find a Fae. We won the game. Demonic Tutor. Spell Pierce. And a land. So we grab non-creature spell. Approach. Gain life. Demonic Tutor. Approach. Yeah, so that's... You saw that there, right? That's the power of Dark Ritual. That is absolutely insane. Did we have Born Upon the Wind? Because I'm not sure. If we drew it, we actually didn't need it, since we can just respond to the Leyline's Binding with the Born Upon the Wind. So we had 2 good solid choices there. Well, that's a good hand. Thundering Falls. Brazen Borrower. Okay, so this is a tempo deck. Assemble the team. I think we go with the assemble the team. What should I get? I mean, it has to be Omniscience, right? It has to be. If they pass, I guess I'm passing too? Lapse? That's kind of curious. I was saving for Show and Tell, but I think we might be able to get all the counter spells out if we do this. Ragavando, Divine Bite 0. Okay. Alright, let's just let them take... Actually, if they take a Thoughtseize, I lose the game, right? So I should probably fix the top. Thinking about it. Wait, they passed? No way you passed there! You're telling me this is a spell pierce. Like, there's just no way, right? There's no way this is a spell pierce. Really? You're telling me this is a spell pierce. There's just no way. Wow, it actually might be. Wow, my opponent just like absolutely fooled me. What a player. What a player. Nah, there's just no way. There's a point where you just there's just no way. Like, this is unreal, by the way. I mean, they completely outplayed me by not playing their channeler. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say. I should have just played it. I should have just played it. Well, they played me. They played me good. Next time I see you, I'll just play out my spells. Okay. Channeler turn 1. That's kind of scary. I'll just pass with the spell pierce up. Really? That's insane. Double channeler. Double channeler going first against this deck. I'm kind of scared. I'm really scared. Well, hopefully I don't die. Wait, are you serious? I mean, I'm okay with this outcome. Yeah, I guess we won then? Boom. Show and tell. Boom. They got nothing. Nice. Actually, did that wrong. I was supposed to actually fail Wish first, but doesn't really matter. Okay. That's a decent hand. Yeah, actually, this is the kind of hand that you want to see, right? Unless this happens. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Okay. I don't think we can beat that. Especially going second and all. What a deck.
My bloodline flows through you.
Yeah, what a deck. So we are actually dead. Funny enough. So we have to win next turn, but we can't. So we lost the game. Yeah, you see how broken this deck is? The Soaring combo deck? I recommend it a lot. I played 2 different versions of that. Grab a Watery Grave. Dot sees you. Oh god. This is so bad. A tutor? I'm effectively giving them 2 cars by doing this though. I think I should still do it. Because I can just potentially win the game next turn, right? Yeah, I feel like I should just go for the win here. Spells cast from among cards you drew this turn. Oh god. That's pretty rough, honestly. But I guess it doesn't matter if you never draw. Right? If you never draw, you can't tax me. This was actually super fortunate that we won this game. This is probably our worst nightmare. That turn 1 Thoughtseize was so good. Oh, this is actually nice. I was like, this hand is kind of bad because we have no black source, but... Okay, that actually works out. That's perfect. Nice. Actually really nice. Really? What is this? Skeletons you control get +1 and haste. When this enters the battlefield, create 2/2 skeleton. At the beginning of the end step, if you descended this turn, you may pay 1 life. If you do, return Corpse of the Lost to its owner's hand. They did descend. What is going on? Insane? Actually wombo comboing. Well, I mean, no. No. Actually insane. You know what? Fine. Here it is. Here's an Aatroxa. Can you beat an Aatroxa? I wonder. Show and Tell, Omniscience, Bay of Wish, Spell Snare, and I'll also grab a land. I think Spell Snare is actually gonna be good. Just discard an Aatroxa. Yeah, I wonder, can you beat an Aatroxa? No, you cannot. Sure. It's actually a pretty hard hand to interrupt, I guess, because I have double show and tell. So they'd have to take and assemble the team. If they have a Thoughtseize, that is. Okay. This could be where we might be playing against some error here. I was kind of tempted to grab the Undercity Plunder, but... So we're looking for an Omniscience. Perfect. Perfect. Kind of hoping that we draw into a spell that can look... Spell that's actually better than the Born Upon the Wind. So I can actually win the game here. If not, we might actually have to put the Omniscience down into Born Upon the Wind, and then we might have to take a little chance here. Take a little peek. Oh god. That's not good. Now they take away my Omniscience. That was really good. But why did they ritual into a demonic tutor Thoughtseize? So I guess Thoughtseize was already in their hand and then they demonic tutor for a combo piece. That's probably what happened. Triple dig through time. That's not good. Okay. One Omniscience gone. I mean, they can cast Dig Through Time. Because there's already 6 cards in the yard. And I don't think I can play this Born Upon the Wind in case I get an Omniscience. This is like basically the Mirror Breaker, right? But, oh man. Like, can I afford to not play this? That's the big question. That is a big question. There's not even a Surveil land. I messed up. Okay, we might actually be able to get something done here. Okay. Okay. This is actually huge. Because they're so far away from comboing. It's actually pretty nuts. Double... They can't double Thoughtseize right now. I think I go for Show and Tell, Omniscience, Aatroxa, and another land. If they take away both my Show and Tell, I can get a Mystic Sanctuary and then get back a Show and Tell. Maybe I should have actually grabbed a Demonic Tutor. I guess I can still grab an Assemble. Right? We have an Assemble. I think we would have actually just won through a beatdown. They're so far away from comboing after getting Aatroxa and then an Omniscience getting Thoughtseize away. Okay, so definitely a little bit of a learning curve going back to this deck, but it's not too hard because the combo is actually pretty streamlined with Aatroxa, Veiled Wish, and Share Summon. What did I think about the new cards that we played? I'm still not sure about the Spell Snare. So there was a game where the Spell Snare was actually pretty useful against a counter spell. So, I mean, it wasn't the worst. And as you've seen from some of the games that I played, the Bowmaster is actually still pretty problematic for this deck. So I feel like Spell Snare is actually pretty good. Because like against a control deck as well, like it gets rid of counter spells. I think that's pretty huge. Because against a Spell Pierce, you can play around it, but against a counter spell, you can't, right? So having 2 copies of Spell Snare, I think it's pretty good. And we also saw some games where Dark Ritual has been absolutely monstrous. Dark Ritual, a Thoughtseize into Show and Tell, it's basically game over. And we also saw the power of Born Upon a Wind. So this is another tech that, compared to the last time that I played the Omnitell, this is a new card added to the list. I know this card has been being played in an Omnitell, some of the Omnitell lists already. I just haven't got around to checking out the Omnitell again, just because, as you know, a singular card added to the list wasn't really interesting enough for me to actually check out the deck again. So I think the changes to the main deck actually has been pretty amazing. We're playing a lot of broken cards here. Show and Tell, Dark Ritual, Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, and they're all 1-mana cards. Well, except for the Show and Tell, right? So, and not to mention, we also saw the power of the Surveillance, the Undercity Sewers, and Hedge Maze, Filling Up the Yard for Dig Through Time, and Mystic Sanctuary. So honestly, a pretty insane list. This is basically the modified version of the Sultai Omnitell from Nicole Dubin. As you can see, there's some similarities in the sideboard, but I've changed a little bit to accommodate the share summons because I feel like sometimes I come across a situation where Mastermind's Acquisition is the only card left in the hand, especially against a deck that likes to Thoughtseize a lot. Because we can play Veiled Wishes, if you have Mastermind's Acquisition, you can grab a shared summon and just kind of win the game from there by grabbing Veiled Wishes and Aatroxa. So I actually really like Veiled Wishes in this deck. So yeah, that was me checking out Omnitell with a little bit more broken cards sprinkled onto the deck with Dark Ritual, Born Upon the Wind, Surveillance to the list. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.